Okay, folks, we'll go ahead and start the QRP meeting here. Apologize for the fact that it took a while to get going. We got everybody spread out here, so I'll be swinging the camera right around. And I will let you all introduce yourselves so I can get the roster written down, starting with you, Barry.
Barry Scanlon, KY-QRP.
JB.
I do need a pen.
Hello. Introduce yourselves. Starting with JB.
JB, W4WWD.
Bill, N4DIT.
Brad, WA4HBM. Smokey, KE6IVK.
Alan, KB4YB. Bobby, KB4QNR.
Bob, KI4JWK.
Roger, KJ4YSY.
Bill, WA4LEB.
Loretta.
All righty.
Brad's over there.
I'm on here.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming. First of all, what we will do is plan the luncheon for May. And this time I found the calendar on my phone without having to fumble around forever. We've got Thursday the 21st and Thursday the 28th.
But 28th, I'm gonna be gone.
Yeah, okay. So let's make it the 21st. That's about the midway point between now and the next meeting. So since it's odd numbered month, we'll be over here at Denny's. So May 21st at 11:30 at Denny's. Okay, well, we had a really nice field event Friday. The Dawsons and the Colvin, except Loretta had to go to the dentist. I imagine you'd have preferred just to stay out in the park with us that day.
Oh, yeah, that's when they told me how much it was gonna cost.
That was even the worst part of it, huh? And I was there. I worked a lot of 20-meter CW. And Roger, I know you worked a lot of 40-meter phone. What else did you work?
20 and 40.
20 and 40, okay.
And found out that my 20 meter wasn't working as should. So Saturday, I got out in the yard and made adjustments in my 20 meter antenna. And I guess Arizona and Oregon was having QSO
Parties, yeah, there were a bunch of them this weekend.
But I made several contacts to Oregon and Arizona both and QRP.
Okay.
Lots.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of them that weekend. I think like 7 different states or 10 different states or something like that. So good deal. I made a few tweaks to my setup over the weekend so that things will go hopefully a little smoother next time. But still, you know, my stuff worked pretty good when you consider it hadn't really touched it for what, 6 months or something like that. So, and I operated at FT897 that I got, and it works out really good. So. And I stayed with CW just because I didn't have the presence of mind the night before to charge up the batteries in my laptop. So okay. Well, Roger, any other observations about that field event?
Well, may not realize it, when you put antennas up, take them down, put them up, take them down, you stretch that wire. If it's all copper wire, you'd be surprised how much it stretches. That's what had happened to me. And I had stretched myself till it was going almost out of the band. So I had to do a little snipping, and actually had to take about 2 inches off of each end of it to get it back resonant again.
Yeah. Well, and then I have a tendency to, when I'm cutting a dipole like that, to leave it long because I'm afraid of cutting it too short. So it's probably below, below the band anyway, and it just gets worse after that, so, okay, good deal. All righty, Mr. Bobby, what kind of stuff have you been doing here lately? Anything?
Still gotta read the instructions. Barry and I got together and he soldered, I picked up this kit with the Whisper QRP puts out 250 milliwatts, and I've got to get it on. I've got a 20-meter antenna for it, so we wound the filter for 20 meters. And anyway, once I get it programmed, it's a little PIC chip with it's got a LCD display, like a 16x2 deal. And the firmware sets it all up to run either QRSS or Whisper or 2 or 3 other digital modes. And you can see where it gets propagated to, how far your signal can be picked up, you know, on a map out there. There's receivers that grab your ID and then they post it online. So, you know, and these guys have been talking about being heard halfway around the world on a quarter of a watt. So I thought it'd be a perfect way to see how well the homebrew in-fed antennas were working out. Because I figure if you can hear us in Europe on a quarter of a watt, the antenna's doing
It's
pretty
probably a pretty decent antenna.
Yeah, pretty decent antenna. So that's kind of the purpose for doing it.
And then when you get one, you find one that works, and then if you switch to one that doesn't, maybe just throw that back in the junk box and stick with the one that works.
Stick with the one that works. That's the name of the game there. So that's about it, really.
Okay, good deal. Mr. Barry over here, how are you doing on getting set up to join us for some field work here one of these days?
Pretty good. I got my in-feds done, so
Homebrew in-feds, okay.
yeah, I'm going with in-feds.
Mm-hmm.
And I just finished one yesterday, and it was my original box that I made for 20 meters. It's the Unit. And so I got one wire to work on 17 and 15 both. And I talked to a guy in Arizona on 5 watts, and I worked a guy in Chile. So I'd say it's working.
Yeah, sounds good.
But I bought a deep cycle battery,
Okay.
and pretty much, oh, I do have trouble with my computer, because I wanted to run my computer off the battery, and I bought this DC to DC converter. Well, apparently it's too smart, because it's not the AC adapter, and it's not powering my computer, so I gotta figure that out.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Let me just, well, Brad, have you got anything to report?
No, sir, I have nothing to report at this time.
Okay. Anybody, Smokey, anybody with anything related to QRP?
I've got something else.
Yeah, go ahead, Roger, good.
Brad loaned me the W1AW receiver,
Okay.
and I'm tickled to death to report that it works very well.
Good, okay.
And it is on 40 meters.
40 minutes.
Yeah, it's got a crystal in there for 7.040, I believe, or 05.
Probably 047.
I believe it was.
7047 probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hooked it up to my antenna. Come in loud and clear. Now, I thought maybe I was going to try to duplicate the circuit. And there's one of the ICs in there that I can't find. I can't find anybody that sells it.
Okay.
So
I wonder what that would be.
I'm not really too sure.
Okay.
I'll bet it's an NE602 mixer.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, if it is, you can use 6A, 612. I mean, SA 612
Yeah.
in place of it.
Okay.
if that's the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just trying, I can't think of what else really would be in a simple
You
receiver
can't find a
circuit.
602 anymore, but there is a replacement. And
Okay.
that is that SA 612.
Yeah, this was I should have wrote that down, but I didn't.
You think it
The
was
one, the one of them you can find.
you think it was an NE 602? Did it say Signatics? You remember?
I believe that's the one I couldn't find, was a 602.
Yeah, it would have said Signatics on it if it's
No,
NE
this had a-
602 probably.
It had a, NA.
That one has a, any 602 and a dual op-amp, I think, in it. And I don't remember what the op-amp is.
It was almost the same thing. It was, NA 605 or something. It was real close. The one of them I can find, but the other one I couldn't.
Well, Brad sent me a schematic the other day for an 80-meter version of that.
Okay.
And like they use the color burst crystal or something similar.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty simple. If you want to build the one for 80 meters, we do have a schematic for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that one for the color burst crystal. I found it.
Okay, anything else on, well, we've talked about antennas, a little bit of everything. Anything else on antennas that anybody wants to report or talk about? New antennas for field work or new antennas at home, anything like that? Okay, how about additional field work plans? Anybody got anything lined up? I have not been out on Briar Hill to look at that park that Mike Mulbacher was talking about in the Yahoo group. So, but I will get out there. I had no idea that was there, but you know, a horse farm or something donated the land to the city, and they've built a 280-acre park, and it's, you know, I guess archery is a big thing out there. So I'll try to see if I can find a place where we wouldn't get hit by a flying arrow in there someplace. So
Where's Briar Hill? Is it off
well, if you go,
Chester, or where is that?
well, it's if you know Royster Road, Royster, as you go north, it dead ends into Briar Hill, and it's right about where it's at. Do you ever go out Bryan Station much, Bobby?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, when you go out and you cross the railroad tracks the first time, you get down there and there's a T intersection, okay?
Okay.
57 turns to the
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
it becomes Briar Hill at that point.
oh, okay.
And you go down there and you cross the railroad tracks again, and then the first major road, I think, is Royster, and
Yeah.
it's someplace that's out there, so.
Yeah, Royster's a little loop that runs from that stretch over back toward Winchester Road.
Winchester Road, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that goes back to my high school days there. Bryan Station.
What about out there?
What were you doing out in the country when you were in high school, Bobby?
They said there was we were looking for Eyeball Bridge or something. But we got
What's
lost.
out there, Chris? What's out there?
There is a park, a 280-acre city park.
Yeah, I knew that.
And so Mike Mulbacher in the Yahoo group was suggesting that it might have possibilities for field work. So I'll go out and see if I can find what looks like a place, you know, with some trees and stuff like that. And as I say, the place that's out of the way of the archery and whatever other stuff they got, you know.
I know that's what they set it up as, an archery range.
Yeah. So I will do that. Okay, anything else on field work? Okay, how about other stuff related to construction projects? You've been working on your, getting your end feds done. Anybody else doing anything? We've covered some of that already.
Yeah, I'm working on NFEDs.
You doing some homebrew ones as well?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same ones. Me and Barry are working on the same one.
Okay. Okay, good deal.
Same
Well,
design.
if those work out good, then I'll build some myself.
I think they will. I think this new one, we gotta order some capacitors from DigiKey, but once we get that, I think we'll be in good shape.
Okay. Alrighty, anybody else with anything QRP related? Interesting QSOs that you've worked recently? Roger, how's the code practice been going?
Well, here the last little bit, it hasn't been going.
Okay.
I kind of backed off on it a little bit, but I've been on the radio and actually copied code off the radio.
Okay.
So, before it's just sitting down and practicing, I haven't really done it.
Okay.
But I noticed there's quite a bit of code now that's running 10 words a minute or something.
Yeah, there'll always be that, because you always have people, starting into it for the first time, so.
And that's great for me. I mean, that's where I am.
Bill?
You just reminded me of something. Bobby,
Mm-hmm.
we seem to have a few people wanting to learn. You know about that, right?
Yeah, I do.
And another thing is that I bought some Pixies, which can't be seriously taken as a QRP transceiver, but I bought them. They may have a quarter watt output, but the receiver is about as consistent as they get. In other words, you have to have a S9 signal to hear it. But my thought was, Crystal Pixies on 13.56 megahertz, which is a ISM frequency, and with a short antenna that's not going to go very far, and people could, practice sending their code back and forth across the room. So anyway, these are like $7 Pixie kits.
Right, and then you get the benefit of learning how to build a kit, or, so.
You got a source for those? You got some of those crystals, Bill?
Yeah, I've got a whole bag of 100 of them. I just have to find them.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Well, yeah, when you do that,
sometimes
sounds like a plan.
Cheaper just to buy in quantity from China for, $10
Yeah.
for 100 rather than
And free shipping.
got free shipping too. But I haven't found them. I misplaced them. I'll just get another bag of it.
Okay, folks, it's about 7:22, and Brad needs to we need to get our microphone going here. Oh, almost forgot. I got QRP Quarterly here. The first one of you that gets up here and grabs it, you're welcome to it. I'm finished with it. I think Bobby's a member already.
I went and got you.
So,
The picture looks like a QRO device.
yeah, it's a Saturn V rocket engine. He was using it for a ground or something.
Like a high power
Yeah.
device.
It's one of those radar operations.
Okay, last call, folks. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up and let Brad get set up for the meeting. Okay, well, thank you all for coming.
72.